The coating durability test puts XS through a cycle of 10,000 strums. Through the lens of a microscope, it is clear that XS retains its composition better than other coated strings. Testing complete.
Whoa! Hey, I'm John Bollinger with Premier Guitar with my friend Jared James Nichols at the Basement East in Nashville. Jared, good
What's
to
up?
see you, man.
I'm so glad to be back, man.
Good. Yeah, you're never gone.
Yeah, never gone.
You're everywhere.
Yes.
And congrats on this new signature. Let's hear all about it.
Okay, this is the Premier Guitar Premier exclusive. I'm saying it right now. This is my brand new signature with Epiphone.
God.
The third iteration of my single pickup Les Paul Custom.
Right.
And this is in Pelham Blue. It's like a matte Pelham Blue. It's awesome. I don't know if it captures on the camera. I can't take a good picture of it yet, but like it could be like kind of silver or it can be like super blue.
Yeah.
All blue.
Oh, love it.
It's loaded with a signature, Seymour Duncan.
Yeah. Okay. Now you went with a dog ear.
Yeah.
That's a cool choice.
Yeah, man. I got one guy, Leslie West.
Oh, really?
So for me, like, I love the simplicity of a dog ear.
Yeah.
Because when you roll up the volume,
Oh, yeah.
it's just like, it's like a microphone.
It is. It is.
And I feel like it's kind of archaic in a way that, like, you know, pickups can filter out, you know, like a great humbucker. It's like, oh yeah, it really captures my tone. This captures everything,
Yeah, right.
the good and the bad.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just always love the attack of a P90. I feel like it can be super snarly. Can I play a little bit?
Oh, God. That's what I was
So-
hoping for, man.
So if I have my volume down,
Yeah.
bring the volume up.
Oh,
I use my fingers too, so like I can get that.
God, yeah.
And then all the way up. It's just got all the shades I love.
Man, and that's what I love about your playing. There's all this nuance in it. All this, I mean, you might only have one pickup, but you get like every tone.
I feel like a lot of people, maybe when they see me play or hear me, they go, oh, it's going to be loud, it's going to be super aggressive. And there's a lot of shades of that.
Yeah.
But I'm so obsessed with like the tone, the touch,
Right.
the feel of it. So like, you know, growing up, listening to Jeff Beck, rest in peace, Albert
Yeah.
King, guys
Right.
like that, like the super feel stuff to me is where it's at. So even when I'm playing like high gain, I'm always thinking about, you know, the notes in between the bends and getting the, you know, the feel just right.
Right.
And with my fingers too, I feel like it gives it a different tone, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's all that kind of nuance and expression. I love that, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
I'm a lefty, so that's where it originated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I tried to use a pick, and it never, like, I was really uncoordinated. And then I started to just use my thumb, and then I brought this finger in. Then I started to add basically thumb, index, middle, sometimes even my ring finger. It's like I can like pick chords differently. I can play a lot of the same riffs that someone could do with a pick, but play them and they sound a lot different.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it definitely gives you your own thing.
Yeah, man.
Love that. And I love that guitar. So do you ever play Old Glory, the old original?
I still have it. It needs a fret job.
Oh God, I bet.
Yeah, no.
High miles.
High
on that
miles.
guitar.
I remember being on tour with Zach Wilde, and Zach, this was years ago. I had the original Old Glory, and all of his necks were like sanded down. So like I was like, Zach, can we sand my neck down? He's like, yeah, sand it down.
Yeah, let's
So legit.
That's like two Viking warriors together. Yeah.
And like I would look, like after that tour was amazing. He gave me a bunch of like guitars and a pedalboard and stuff. And Old Glory came back like Zackified. So it's got like a sanded down neck.
Cool.
It's got like an Old Glory flag. The thing's awesome.
Perfect.
I gotta bust it back out.
Yeah. Yeah. When I remember seeing you back in the day at that guitar thinking, that's gonna fall apart. The guitar is just gonna disintegrate because you're no restraint, just beating it like it owes you money.
I'm always attracted to the little bit more of the wild side of playing. Not necessarily. I'm definitely not like a shredder, but there's something about, I don't know. Whenever I pick up a guitar, it's like probably like everyone watching this. It's my favorite thing in the world, like you. And there's something that the more I dig in, like the more I get into it.
Yeah.
So man, I'll start playing, man, and I'll just.
God.
I love it. I love it. I love to play.
I love it too. That is so great.
Yeah,
okay, man. So congratulations on that. I know you've got a few others we got to see.
Yeah, we got some fun stuff. Up next is a really, really cool guitar. It's going to get loud for a sec.
Oh, it's been loud. For the record, I've seen a lot of bands in this venue, and I've played in this venue, and I've never heard anything louder.
Yes!
than,
I win!
Yeah.
Check this one out, John.
Yeah.
This is a really cool guitar. This guitar belongs to my friend Charlie Daughtry, who runs the Les Paul Forum.
Yeah.
Great friend, and I love this thing. So back to the P90 single thing.
Right.
This is where the Glory Dream originated. But what's cool about this one is it's from 1959. So
that's a good year.
Yeah.
Good year for Les Pauls.
But the cool part is, and now everyone in the comments can tell like the real story, but I believe in 58 they switched to the double cut. So
yeah, I think I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure like the red double cuts started in 58.
Some nerd in there will say
Just
it.
tell us.
Just tell us.
He'd be like, hey, dummy.
I think it was
May
I think it's
7th of 59.
yeah. Somebody will know the date, right?
I have rarely seen like 59 single cuts. And something about this guitar is just really cool. It has a really articulate tone. And the reason I brought it today, it's been grovered. So it's got grovers on it.
Love the Grovers.
So grovers do something to guitars. I know it might sound crazy, but whenever they play them, I feel like it has a different sound. So I was playing a 56 for a while that I borrowed from Charlie, and this one had a different sound. So let me play it. You can kind of get a vibe.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. A nice tone.
God, great.
And moving along with this thing, I just like it because although it has a lot of the same configuration, you'll notice how much darker this guitar sounds than the new one, of course. But I just thought it was so cool. It's like a 59, and when I get into my crazy mode, this thing just starts screaming like an in a trio, it's rocking, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like the thicker and the grosser, the better. But I just thought this was a really cool guitar to show.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. I love it. So far, we're 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
That's
we got up next one of my favorite guitars in the world.
Oh, I remember this one.
Yeah, you remember this one from the boat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think your last rig rundown on the Bonamassa cruise.
Yes.
I think you had this one with you.
I did. So this is, bringing up Charlie again. Oh, volumes. I got this from Charlie a few years ago. He had a bunch of Les Pauls sitting there, and this one spoke to me. Simply put, man, this is one of those ones that just inspires me to play. Right. You know, and it's a 1953. It obviously started its life as a Goldtop, right? You can still see, maybe you can show in the details, but it's gold underneath this painted red.
Oh, that's great. So they just shot right over.
Yeah.
They like rattle canned it over.
They rattle canned that thing.
Over. God, they did.
Yeah, man.
That is rattle can, right?
But the best part about
you.
all these guitars like this is I can play them and not worry about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So someone was like, oh man, you should take it back or, you know, restore it to the gold. I was like, no, never. No. I'll get back to the gold by wearing on it.
Yeah, you're getting there right now.
Totally. Yeah. So this kind of guitar, this style Les Paul, it has a nice wide neck to it, and it has a thin ear. You guys can see I like wraparounds. It's like the earliest ones had really thin.
Wow, that
kind of cool,
thin.
right?
Right, I've never noticed that before. That is really thin.
It's really thin.
Yeah.
Try and find another one of those.
Right.
I looked for one that was like $2,000 because this one's got a crack in it. So I was doing a string change and I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
No. But yet again, man, I just play them. I love them. And this one's No Doubt. You want to hear it?
Oh, yes.
Let's play it. It's got a really nice neck pickup too, man. Check this out. And then of course rolling it back.
God.
Cool, huh?
Fabulous. You know what the crazy thing is?
Sound good?
It sounds amazing. And there's not that much of like a 60 cycle thing going on. I mean, because you're louder than damn it, but it's not like, it's not.
It's not horrible.
Yeah, no, it's actually just part of it, man. It doesn't bother me at all.
I learned really quick when I started to tour with like P90 guitars that it's like you got to be able to hide it.
Right.
You got to be able to know where to fill in the space.
Yeah.
And I remember a guitar player friend I was on tour with, like one of my first like big tours was with the bass player Glenn Hughes from Deep Purple.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And we did like 60 shows across Europe, and Doug Aldrich was on guitar.
Oh, wow.
And he was like,
Doug's amazing.
Yeah, he goes, playing those P90s? And like he was down by the stage. I was like, yeah. And I had a gnarly 60 cycle going. He's like, you got to be like a gunslinger, man. You know? And he's like, got to go in and out. And then I thought about it, and I was like, he's kind of right. So when I do play, like, let's say I'm playing something, like you can hear the buzz.
Yeah.
But what I'll do is, it's almost like I make it one motion. And then I'm always riding, and like I do it without intentionally doing it, but I'm always riding the volume, the tone, muting when I need to.
Right. I think that no pick thing really helps with that. I think that's where your whole kind of nuance expression comes from.
Yeah, and even like someone will probably say in the comments, they'll be like, this guy just plays dirty. But like even when you're playing like clean stuff, you know, like when I use my fingers like a going to this pickup. I love to massage the guitar.
Yeah,
You know?
beautiful, man. Yeah.
So
Love
that's
it.
Old Red.
Okay, love Old Red.
Okay, now we're gonna bring out a guitar that a friend brought to the show tonight for me to specially play. And I thought that this would be really cool to show everyone. If they haven't seen it, they're gonna dig it.
Oh, they've all seen it.
Oh, they've seen it. Oh, they've seen it.
Everybody in the world has seen this guitar.
So
Not
this
to give it
guitar-
away.
This guitar belongs to my friend, Chris Blakey, and he goes online as Fried Okra. And this is one of Paul Kossoff from the band Free, 1959.
Yeah, that's the
Les
one.
Pauls.
All right now.
This is it. Should we play that riff?
Yeah.
Should we play that riff? Am I
Yeah.
gonna sound like it?
You
Uh-oh.
should, yeah.
It's funny because I've spent a lot of time with this guitar now.
Uh,
At first, I was scared of it. Like, I
Oh,
was
God,
like,
yeah.
but this thing is a beast, man. Let's see what it sounds like. Hold on.
God.
I'll take it. You don't even need that much gain. Paul Kossoff always had that sweet vibrato.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because it's not, it seems like it's cleaner
Mhm.
than your P90s or
Yeah.
dog ears.
Yeah, those dog ears, man, they get pretty muddy and in the dirt, but like in the best way possible.
Yeah,
They're
in
like
the best way.
catfish.
Yeah, right.
They're down there on the
Yeah.
bottom, man. They're just
Yeah.
like, you know.
Yeah,
But this
that
thing-
is.
I love it.
God.
It's a really expressive, like what I look for in guitars are like, you know, you always try as a guitar player to be expressive, but ones that push you just a little further.
Right.
To kind of go for things maybe you wouldn't always go for. But even this one, it's just like, see what the neck pickup does, man. Sorry, Paul. Sorry, I only know like 5 riffs. I just repeat them in different ways. This thing sounds good.
God.
What I love too about, especially because I play Les Pauls all the time, the ones that vibrate against your body.
Right.
And then like while you're playing it, it feels like it's alive.
You know, I've never seen you on anything other than Les Paul. Yeah.
I used to flirt with like Flying V's, SGs and stuff,
Yeah.
but I always kept coming back to Les Pauls.
Yeah.
You know, funny fact, I was actually born in Waukesha where Les Paul's from.
Oh, that is meant to be.
So I remember when I was a little kid, like seeing a Les Paul and being like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then like when I started to play, I was like, of course I'm going to play.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kinda cool.
Yeah, actually, I did see you playing one of Van Halen's guitars.
Oh yeah.
That was the only time I've seen you not on a Les Paul.
That
Yeah.
felt, and that, I love Eddie, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I'm a big fan of all guitar, like so much. But when I played that, they brought it out and I was like, yeah, I'm probably not the right guy to do
Yeah,
this
no,
one.
hey, you sounded great. You
Thanks, man.
sounded amazing. And he still sounded like you, but it
Yeah.
was like an homage to Eddie. It was
Totally.
great.
Totally, and that was really special. I've been really lucky to play so many like legendary guitars,
Sure.
and especially in like the Gibson world.
Yeah.
I've made all these friends and people that have guitars like this, where you're just, yeah, of course, 58 Les Paul or Flying V, whatever, you know, it's cool.
Well, Jared, you're kind of a big deal, man.
Yeah.
No. Hey, I know you have one more in the hopper.
Yeah, I got one more in the hopper.
Let's see that one.
Here it comes. So this guitar, people might know about too. It's, thanks, Kev. This guitar came into my life, let's think, probably about 1.5 years ago. It's never leaving.
Yeah.
This guitar, from the moment I plugged it in, turned into like legit like my favorite Les Paul ever. I can't even believe I have it, and the way I got it is so weird. So I'll play it and then I'll talk about it.
Okay,
Is that cool?
Yeah, please.
Let's make sure it works. Let's see what we got going here. All right, check it out.
God.
Cool, huh?
Fabulous, man.
So this is one of the first Les Pauls ever, really. It's an early 1952.
Wow.
So this guitar was in a tornado. Check out the back. Guy hits me up on Instagram, right? Sends me a DM, and it's got that thing where it says like, "Are you sure you want to view this picture?" You could see like the outline. It was like a Goldtop.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Yeah, I'll click it."
Yeah.
He goes, "Hey man, my name's TJ. I live like near Chicago. There was a tornado in my hometown in 2013, and this landed in my yard." Swear to God.
Yeah.
And he goes, and it had dirt and mud and like glass, and you could see like it'd been through the ringer.
Was it in one piece?
No, the neck was snapped off.
Oh.
So he goes, "Man, I'm thinking about getting it restored. I don't know what I want to do with it." And so I hit him back right away, and I was like, "Dude, that's sick." It did not have this tailpiece, right? It didn't have any of this, but all of this was there. Everything besides
Pickups, knobs.
yes,
Switch.
And it looked like, man, it went through the war, right? So I saw these 2 screws on it, and me being, you know, a big internet armchair detective of Les Pauls.
Yeah.
No, I saw the screws and I went, that's a really early Les Paul, because the only ones I've seen like that are super early.
Right.
So I hit him back and I was like, dude, I had to shoot my shot. I was like,
Yeah.
you looking to get rid of it? You
Yeah.
know? And he's like, no, I think I want to get it restored. And I was like, okay, cool. I said, well, if you need any help finding someone to do the work for you, I know some really great guys. And I said, here's my number. And I said, and also, if you ever do just decide to get rid of it, I would love to get that thing up and running. And it was snapped at the heel. I'll show you here in a minute. And the next day he calls, and I was like, dude's calling me. So I answer, he's like, hey man, so I'm just gonna give you the guitar. I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, I didn't buy it. I don't feel right selling it. So I think, you know, you should just take it and get it fixed and play it. And I'm like, okay. So I literally me in the car.
Yeah, right.
Chicago. And I meet up with him and I was like, does it work? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, get a screwdriver. So we tap he plugs it into an amp, we tap it, it's like, brah, brah. I was like, oh yeah, it works. So I sent this guitar the next day to Joel at JW Restoration. I told him the story about it. And I was like, dude, it was in a tornado. I was like, this thing is so cool. And we like bonded right away. And he's like, yeah, man, I'll fix it for you. And I was like, okay, cool. So what we did is, you can see on the back here, I can show you, but right here at the heel,
Right.
Joel is like a magician. He took the old heel, what was existing of it, out, and he built the neck and grafted onto the old heel and put it back on.
Wow.
and it's rock solid. I said, is that going to be solid enough, man? Because I'm going to rock this thing.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, don't worry about it. It's going to be great. And it's been great. So this guitar, like early 52, the characteristics, the pots in the guitar, because I said, you got to look at the pots. And the pots are from, I believe he said, April of 1952. So it's pretty early.
Right.
And the other thing is it had a kind of a tan line like this, where this tailpiece would be. And I would see those pictures of like Mary Ford. Les Pauls. And there was a few Les Pauls that had kind of this style, tailpiece on them. So I was looking on Reverb one night and I found this tailpiece. I think it was $25.
Oh,
and it was like late 40s L5 tailpiece or whatever.
Yeah.
And I texted it to Joel. I was like, could we use this on the guitar? He just texted back, buy it. So we bought that. We fitted it with this. I didn't know if it was going to last. So we did do a wrap tail on it, but I like it the way it is.
Yeah, it's great.
The early characteristics, though, is this has a center seam flame maple top.
Wow.
Like a burst.
Yeah.
The body's wider. It's a little bit wider, which is kind of cool.
Right.
Thicker body. The other thing, obviously, this weirdo pickup. It's got no binding on the neck.
Right.
It's got these weird, like, hex kind of
tuner
style.
God, and those knobs are huge.
Huge, man. But I like that.
Oh, I love it.
Like, as a player, sometimes you're playing, like those 70s witch hat knobs?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm trying to get up.
Right.
But these, man, I feel like, rest in peace, Jeff. I can do.
Right.
But it feels really good. And it's just such a fantastic guitar, man. It's really inspiring.
God, that's great. That guitar found you.
Yeah. I knew when I got it, too. Like, I remember Joel sent it to me. We were playing at this theater in Pennsylvania. He's like, I haven't looked at the pickups yet or anything. So I got the guitar and it was done. I could still smell the glue. And I was like, man, what if it doesn't work? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I remember I plug it into my rig and I just go like this. And I was like, it's working. And like my guys were like staring. They're like, and all of a sudden I just kind of did like I remember going, it works. And then I was, this thing's got a little extra on the end.
God.
I love it.
That is great, man.
And then someone goes, oh, you shouldn't play that guitar. It's been through enough. And I'm like, dude, if this thing can withstand a tornado, snap neck and all, I think it's ready for the road, man. So I take it everywhere.
Yeah. The last time I saw you was at that,
I've just never heard a guitar story that funny.
Wild, right, dude?
Yeah.
And everyone I hand this thing to, even Bonamassa was like, we did a session together, and he's like, dude, I'm going to bring a bunch of guitars for you to play. He had some crazy gear he brought.
Yeah.
And I plugged this in, and he's like, play the guitar, and I just went like, I just did some BS lick like that or whatever. And he was like, yeah, we'll start there.
Yeah.
And I was like, good with the guitar? I played the guitar the whole session. And then we were at dinner. I was like, Joe, what do you think of that Goldtop, how it sounds? And he's just like, yeah. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, right.
Like Joe approved.
Yeah, that dude knows.
Yeah, he's going to know.
Yeah, he knows. God, that's great. Okay, so amazing guitars.
Thanks, man.
Let's talk about the rest of your rig.
Yeah, it's super simple.
Why don't we start with, okay, so you've got your signature amp. What are you running today?
So today I have this one right here. I thought this was kind of fun to bring too because, man, this came out in 2019. It's the JJN20 Blackstar 20 watt, right? Head and this kind of 212 cabinet.
Yeah.
This is the first one they ever sent me, and I'm still using it.
Great.
Man, in 2019, I went to like 22 countries. I was on the road for like 308 days, right? This was right after we'd met.
Right.
Or right before we met.
Yeah.
But this head was with me in my last rig rundown.
Yeah.
And I would put this thing in a suitcase. I mean, I beat the crap out of it, right?
Yeah, no road case, just checking it.
It still works, man. So I've been using this, and this thing sounds awesome. So with the JJN20, I run this on the clean channel with the dirt all the way up. It's a lot more articulate than this big one. So let me just pull this tube screamer off. Going here. Is that right? Nope. That's right. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's got some reverb. What's what's cool about that too is it's got a lot of reverb kind of.
Yeah.
But when you mix it with that super dry one, it's
right.
It's got a nice little.
Yeah.
Kind of gives it a little shimmer.
Yeah. It almost sounds like some of those recordings where you have a room mic that's off a bit. It doesn't sound as much like. It almost sounds like when you have it combined, it almost sounds like a room mic combined with a close mic.
Totally.
Yeah, it's killer, man.
It's really nice, and it helps me because at the end of the day, I have a hard time if an amp it doesn't give me enough dynamics. Even when I'm playing like heavy, if I don't have enough dynamics, I start to feel uninspired. So I'm at like one level. With this thing, it's got a really nice because I can back it off. So it's got enough on the volume to...
Right.
Yeah, and then I'll show you guys this big dog. Now, this is a 100-watt Artisan, and this thing is like cut your head off loud.
Yeah.
I don't even have it up that loud. What I'm basically using this for is a lot of the low end. The thing I feel like I love, when we were making my last record, using this, it just gave so much bottom, and it has more bark, right? And that's one of the things I kind of like, that sometimes you can't get out of like a 20 watt. This is a 100 watt and the 20 watt, right? So it's very dry.
And fairly clean.
Fairly clean, right? And then when I add some, dirt to it.
God, that's great.
So it's really simple. And I always find if I overcomplicate the rig, man, I just like simplicity. So it's like I'm already complicated enough.
Well, the last time I saw you, we were doing that Guitars for Vets show.
Yeah.
And you walked in, all you had was that guitar.
Yep.
And I don't know if you used a backline amp or that amp.
Backline,
yeah. So you just walked in with that guitar, no pedals, backline amp.
Yeah.
That was it.
Sometimes I feel like, remember, sometimes you get inspired by different gear. So like when you're put in an uncomfortable situation, I try and embrace it. I'm like, okay, cool. What am I going to do with this?
Yeah.
How am I going to make this work?
In your sound check, you just walked over and like, okay.
I love it.
Yeah, that was the quickest setup ever.
Yeah, usually it's like a few notes and then I'll leave the rest for excitement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, that's it, man.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's talk about your modest pedal board.
Yeah. So the pedal board's super simple. I have like tonight, what I'm doing is I'm running both amps always on at the same time, which is like kind of like, I guess like a hobo wet dry, right?
Yeah, right.
Does that make sense? It's like a hobo's wet dry.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but it sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds
So
great.
what I have is I did this camp with Paul Gilbert last summer, and it was awesome. It was like me, Paul Gilbert, Greg Koch, Andy Timmons, and I'm standing up there with these guys. And I'm like, what am I doing? So there was a friend, one of my friends, his name's Tyler. He works for Ibanez. He hooked me up with a ton of tube screamers.
Oh, great.
And here's a good story. I was traveling with a Klon. Well, last summer I was on tour with Zach Wild, and we were playing in West Virginia. Somebody tried to steal that Klon. So I got to the point with this pedal, this Klon pedal. I'm sure someone's heard of it out there. No, but people would see it, and they would be like, it was almost like a dog to like a bone.
Yeah, right.
So we'd be playing these venues, and when you're traveling like that, I'd set up my board, and then I'd leave it until we play the show. So maybe it'd be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and I'd walk in the back, get some food, or we'd go to the gym or whatever we do.
Yeah.
And the Klon would be on the board, and then sure enough, we were at this festival in West Virginia, and I walk up there, and my whole board's gone.
Oh.
Cables are still there, but the board's gone. Ended up in someone's trailer. I have a tracker.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, like AirTag. Get AirTags for your cases.
God,
and
that's
stuff.
a great idea.
Yes. So do that because that'll save your life, especially when you're traveling. Put an AirTag in your guitar case, even if you gate check it. Like I'll have to gate check this, and they'll be like, "Yeah, we don't know where your guitar is," and I'm like,
I know where it is.
It's literally in the planes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, anyways,
great idea.
AirTags, man, do it.
Okay.
They're cheap.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got these tube screamers because I really like the way they sound. And
so you got your Klon
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh, John.
Close one.
This guitar was about to become like,
Yeah.
you know, it was getting pretty serious, but I got it back. Everything was good. But I said, you know what? Right now, it's not worth the risk of having this and losing it for something stupid. So I got these tube screamers, and I'm loving the way they sound.
God, they sound killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
So the first one I have, it's like this dual tube screamer. Basically, I use the first side of it. I run it all the way up, and then when I have that with these amps, it pushes just enough so it gives me that dynamic control I want.
Yeah.
So if I have this on, I usually have this on all the time, and I have. Simple.
Oh yeah, sounds great.
Yeah, sounds great. It's got a lot of bottom end. And what I noticed too is it's super trebly, so I have the tone all the way up.
Yeah, I think that's the secret because a lot of times tube screamers have that, they have something in that upper register that just sounds not like what I want.
Isn't it funny how like, I don't know about you, but I remember when I was like 15, I picked up a guitar. I had a tube screamer, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. It's like, I still use them.
Yeah,
You know? It's great.
Yeah.
So I use that, and that usually stays on all the time. And then moving on from that, I have this really cool pedal. It's made by a company called Sabatius in Argentina. It's this funky vibe. And boy, is it funky. So, by the way, a quick disclaimer about these pedals. The only reason that I'm really using some of these pedals is because this new record, there's certain tones on it and riffs that like when we were in the studio, I was like, all right, I'm going to throw a univibe on it. And I want to be able to recreate it live. So this is the same stuff I used on the record.
Yeah.
So here's that funky vibe. Of course, I'm going to play it. I love it.
Love it.
There's some stuff I do sometimes when I want to be like the D-list Tom Morello, you know? But I'll mess around down here and get the speeds cranking.
Yeah.
It has a vibrato too, but that just makes me seasick. I just use it for the chorus.
Yeah.
And I run it the speed pretty slow. But there's something about that throb, man.
God.
And I'll run it too where it's more quiet, and I'll do parts like. It's more of a kind of a texture.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, and you usually are in a three-piece anyway, and you're covering a lot of sonic ground.
That too is, I know I'm talking a lot, but that's like the P90 thing too. It was like listening to Leslie West and early Clapton and stuff. It's like, how am I going to cover the ground?
Right.
Because I love Stevie Ray and I love the Strat blues. Like I grew up loving that. But every time I played it, I felt like I was trying to sound like someone else. So when I picked up like a Les Paul and this P90 thing, it was like, okay, now I got to like cover it up in a different way.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's great.
Moving on, I just got this pedal like 2 weeks ago. It is this guy in England, B.G. Harding, right? It's a zonk pedal. You ever heard of it?
No.
It's disgusting. It's gross. So check this thing out. Okay, well, first off, there's that. So it's, all right, let me talk about it quick. It's super dynamic, but when it gets to the top, it's just disgusting. That's the tone tip. And then you turn the fuzz up. I'm still learning how to use it. mud in it. It's gross. It's kind of cool though.
It is so cool.
Sometimes
it is so cool. That one could get you in trouble. That
you can only play that in like a trio, like your own thing.
Yeah, right.
But it's kind of cool too, because I mean, it's got a gnarly. I first heard Doyle Bramhall II playing one, and I thought it sounded so cool because he would do like a. Kind of Octavia-esque.
Yeah.
It's gross, John.
It is gross. I love it.
So then, usually, and then I just have another tube screamer because I love Stevie, and like he would have one on and then click on one for a solo, right?
Yeah.
So here's the one on. Simple.
Yeah, love it.
And then Octavia. This pedal I got when I was like 16 or 17.
Oh, really? That one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great.
And I hated it. Because when I turned it on and I tried to play a chord, it was like, well, hold on, that's not actually cool. I didn't know how to use it, but what's really cool about it, I leave the boost kind of down, volume up. It's got the craziest tones, man. So like a... Check this out, John. Yet again, disgusting.
Oh.
But I'll tell you what, there's no better feeling than laying into that thing going. Kind of cool, right?
Oh. Yeah, it's like when you can't get any bigger, it gets bigger. Yeah.
Yes. What is it? What it can get bigger.
Yeah.
And with that thing, it's kind of cool too if you were to be on nuancy with it too. Like let's say here. Check this out.
God.
Something different.
Yeah. You know, if I was just listening and not looking, I'd have no idea how
Right.
you do that.
And then if you roll the neck all the way back.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, I think you knocked a filling out of my tooth on that on that one. Just shook it loose.
There it is. And then I have one last pedal. It's a wah-wah.
Yeah.
I really like this. It's the RMC wah. The thing I like about it is it's really articulate. So like when I click it on, it reminds me of those Clapton-esque tones that I like from like the Cream stuff. Like even that all that like. It's a little Hendrix there.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's like a real conversation. Like I like when you it seems like you use it very judiciously, you know, because you don't spend a lot of time on it.
No.
But when you come in,
Yes.
it really says something.
Yeah, it says something, and it's also, you know, we're talking about like the one more factor.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need that extra treble hit to the eardrum. So when you're playing, you're just, you know, you guys are, everyone's. It's cool.
Yeah, that's great. That's like the end of the night. Sound man takes a 2x4, just turns everything up, every fader up.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh God, that's great.
Yeah, man.
Well, Jared, hey, man, great seeing you. Great hearing you play, dude.
man.
You're taking over the world. Congratulations.
I'm doing my thing, and I'm happy to be doing my thing.
Yeah.
And
I
thanks
love
everyone
your
that stuck
thing.
in.
I love your thing.
Thanks, man.
Hey, y'all, till next time.